Okay, so this is the code that I have pasted. Please note, whenever you do Apex server call, you always need this code. Okay, you always need this code. Here you write your function name. This is your function name, Apex function. This is your Apex function name. One thing which is really important, when you call Apex function from the server side controller, you use c dot name of the function. Okay, you use c dot name of the function, and this is not at all an expression, so you are not using exclamation mark over here. Fine. So please take note of this, that c dot function name is used, and I have that the instance of this save registration detail action is created. I set one parameter. This is the name of the parameter in the Apex function. Apex function parameter name. Okay, and whatever parameter you want to pass, whatever the value of parameter you want to pass, you can have it after this colon. So I wanted to pass this rack form variable which I defined. Remember, I defined this rack form variable over here. I defined this rack form variable, and I want to pass this rack form variable's value to this parameter so that I can save all the details which are input by the user. Fine. So that's it. Parameters are set. One time use instance of the function action is done. Next, what will happen is this function will be in queue. Okay. So for once, just forget this part. Okay, so this function, the instance that you created, will get called, and this server side action will be in queue. It's an asynchronous call. Now the response, now come to this side, the response, it could be a success or error. So whatever is the state of this response, I store that state in a variable, and if this is a success, I am showing one alert message. But if this is if it is an error, okay, if it is an error, in console.log, I am displaying the error message. Okay, so this is the set code for calling Apex function from client side controller, where here you need to pass the function name. Okay, then you need to set the parameters, then queue your function after this call. The response, store that the state of the response we have stored in a variable with the name state. If this state is success, we are showing this alert message. We are later going to change all the code inside this. Okay, and for now we are just displaying this alert message. If state is success, only then, and if the state is error, then we are displaying the error message in the console.log. Also, please note, in our Apex class, Also, please note, in our Apex class, let me close that. Okay, so in the Apex class, the return type is ID. So when this method is getting called, I am inserting the record, and then this function will return me the ID of that particular record. So here dot get return value is going to be basically the ID of the record. So I can see the ID of my newly created record in this alert message. Okay, so we are set. We have understood how to call server side function from client side controller. After this call, if this call is successful, I may want to do few more things. Okay, so I can add more logic over here, and we are going to do that. Why we need to do that? Because once this call is successful, once master data record is ready, I need to store, or I need to save educational detail records as well. Okay, we'll do that in the coming lectures. First, let's see how this function is working. Okay, so let me refresh this page. Enter your name, AMS, enter your parent name, SMS, which class do you study, KG, how many hours do you study in a day, 1, okay, less than 1 hour, let's say. Enter your mobile number, 9898989898. Are you available on weekends to attend the classes? Yes. And then submit. Okay, one thing. Now before I submit, I want to tell you one more thing, and that is this checkbox value. We binded this checkbox value in the component, correct? Here, let's not bind it over here. Instead of that, I know that whenever I am going to click on this checkbox, there is an onChange event defined, and onClick checkboxes function is getting called. So in this onClick checkbox function, here is this onClick checkbox function, I am calling a helper method. So let's go to this helper method. This helper method is basically setting this checkbox value. Okay, so this time I'll set v dot recform dot the field name, which is available on weekends. I want to set this as checkbox value. Okay, saving all my changes, going to the Aura component, and again refreshing this. I need to enter the data once again. Let me do that. AMS, SMS, which class do you study, KG, How many hours do you study? Less than 1 hour. Enter the mobile number 989898. And are you available on weekends to attend the classes? Yes. Submit. I can see one ID has been returned. Let me copy this ID and let's check what's there in this record. Okay, I can see registration form details are now saved. A student's name, a student's parent's name, which class he studied, study hours, mobile number, available on weekends or not. All this information has been saved to the database. That is what I wanted. So this part is done. I am able to save all the information in these 6 fields to the database, but still one part is left, and that one is saving the educational details information. So what are we going to do?